Aj Griffin goes next. The Atlanta Hawks. Aj Griffin, 16th overall, heading to Atlanta to play alongside Trae Young. 6'6", 222 pounds. You see he's got the bounce as well. His father, Adrian Griffin, played 9 seasons in the NBA, currently an assistant coach with the Raptors. So you know Aj Griffin's going to get coached up by his papa, and now he's going to get coached up in Atlanta alongside Trae Young.
Yeah, really emotional pick for me. I had a chance to coach his father, Adrian Griffin, and then I would moonlight as a babysitter sometime. So I babysat Aj Griffin when he was around 2 years old, and I didn't see the potential back then, but I'm so happy for he and his family, you know, both his mom and his dad. And this was a kid that I think has a very high ceiling. You know, sure, he didn't play his best basketball at the end of the season, but man, he showed some spurts with his size, his shooting ability. Now you're playing with a playmaker like Trae Young, Ice Trae. He's going to get some wide open shots. I think he'll continue to improve his motor, you know, and have that type of consistent energy. But, man, this kid has a high ceiling playing for the Hawks. Nate McMillan, who I played with back during our Seattle Supersonic days before they became the Oklahoma City Thunder. So he's going to get well coached. I think he's going to a fringe team, and he's going to a team that Nate McMillan is trying to continue to change that culture. He's not quite there yet.
Aj Griffin, one spot than where you would have liked him to go. He goes 16 to Atlanta. Your grade?
Yeah, it's got to be an A+, and I hate to be repetitive, but as I've explained in previous years, when they literally take the guy that I would have taken that is next on my board, I don't know what else to do other than go A+, or else I'm contradicting myself. Aj Griffin was next on my board. I think this is good value at this point in the draft. Terrific shooter, maybe the best shooter in this draft. Was an athlete before he got to Duke, then had that preseason knee injury, and Adam can speak to this better than I because he saw him at a much earlier age more often. But the athleticism wasn't obvious at Duke. So you have to ask yourself, is that because of some injury, he never got back to 100%, or maybe was it never there at all?
Yeah, it's a really interesting case study because he was a vastly different player in high school than he was at Duke. Now, he didn't play his senior season because of the pandemic, but he was a guy who we always thought was going to catch a late growth spurt because he had big hands and big feet, was not known as a shot maker, believe it or not. And even now, although he shot a high percentage, he's kind of got this unorthodox release with a very wide base in terms of how far apart his feet are. So it's about whether or not you're buying the shooting you saw this year is translating and continuing to evolve into a weapon. And if you're buying some of that athleticism that we saw in high school returning, the biggest factor for Aj Griffin, he's got to be able to stay healthy and be available on a consistent basis.
And when you shoot almost 45% from the three-point line at Duke, it transfers. And your mom was an All-American track and field at Seton Hall. So, and your dad played in the NBA. So that athleticism is there.
So you weren't practicing on the Little Tykes hoop with him when you were babysitting? I hope they paid you well.
No, it's complimentary.
It was complimentary. Complimentary.
It would have been a salary cap violation.
Well, speaking of complimentary, listen to what his dad said. This quote here. He hasn't come close to what he's capable of doing, and I say that as a compliment to him. I know what he's capable of doing, and he shows flashes at times, but he could do so much more on the floor. He can handle the ball. He has exceptional feel. He's a successful shooter, as we know, but I think on the next level, he'll be able to showcase his talents more. So you know his dad's going to be on him. You're going to be on him. Dwayne Case is going to be on him. Aj Griffin headed to Atlanta.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.